Welcome Sagittarius to your February 2025 reading, and thanks so much for tuning in. Now, just some quick messages before we get into it. Now, I've done some more free mini readings for those of you that took me up on my offer. So check out your notifications. I am no longer offering the free mini readings because people just aren't coming back and watching them. Admittedly, it is taking me a long time to get through all of those new subscribers, but if you would like a mini reading from me, you can leave a donation. Doesn't have to be a large amount, but I feel like if people are paying for it, then they are going to come back and watch the readings. Now, also, if you would like to help my channel, I have started a new online store to do with my other passions and loves, and that is selling beautiful crystal jewelry and antiques as well. So I'll leave a link below. You can check that out. All one-off pieces, bespoke, all handmade by my beautiful mum. She's so creative. So semi-precious stones, crystals if you're into those, and no duplicates. These are one-off pieces, and we also do custom made stuff. So if you've got an idea about something or you'd like to use specific crystals, just reach out to us through the email on that site, and we will be in contact with you. Now, let's get into this month's reading. I have to start out by saying Happy Valentine's Day. Be a perfect opportunity to buy a beautiful present for someone you love on that website. But shameless plug there, but let's get into it. Now, I'm using a deck called the Angel Tarot. This is a very old deck. This was the very first deck that I was ever given, and it's very plain, but I love the messages that come through when I use it. Now, right off the bat, I am noticing a few things. You start out with the Five of Wands, but you've also got the Five of Swords there. Now, if you've ever watched my channel before, you'll know that I don't believe in coincidences, and I feel like duplicate numbers are quite significant. And when you get multiple fives, they often can talk about challenges that bring about opportunities. And this is the number of great challenges. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So with fives, you kind of learn to adapt, and you spread your wings, and you kind of break free of circumstances that no longer feel right to you. And sometimes fives can also show up if you are being resistant to change. Now, generally speaking, people don't usually enjoy change. It's uncertain, it's uncomfortable, and so some people actually openly rebel against the forward movement that kind of heaven has in mind for you. So when the fives show up, they can also lead to freedom. And you know, I'm just trying. This particular deck as well, it has quite direct, if we want to put it that way, interpretations of some of the cards. And so I'm trying to not sugarcoat it, but say things in a diplomatic kind of euphemistic way, I guess, in a way. But once you're kind of past all of this uncomfortable feeling of change, you often actually find that whatever conflict or whatever issues that you are going through, it kind of makes you feel a little bit glad that you actually went through them, because you're in a better place after. So when you get several fives in a reading, you should really, it's a bit of a heads up that you're going to be experiencing changes in many areas of your life. And because you've got the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords, I feel like for some of you, there could be some changes in your career here. There's certainly changes in your thinking or the way that you communicate as well with the Five of Swords. Swords are all about the way you communicate, your mind, your intellect, that kind of stuff. So there are some real changes coming in here. Now, it could even be to do with a relationship here, or even a relationship with yourself. But it's interesting, you are actually showing up in your own reading here. You've got the Page of Wands, and I would normally read this as a Sagittarian, and you've got the Queen of Cups. Now, isn't it interesting that these two cards are being flanked by the fives? And I would read the Five of Cups as a Scorpio. So this could be someone you're in a relationship with. Now, these are general readings. So the cups can be a Cancer, a Scorpio, a Pisces. The Page of Wands can be you yourself, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries as well. I mean, you've got some other people here too. You've got the Queen of Swords. This is a Libra, or any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And you've got the Page of Cups. This is a water sign. Again, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And the Knight of Cups. Again, same star signs, those water signs. But normally I would read the Knight of Cups as the movement of energy. But we'll get into that. I'm jumping all over the place as usual. But to go back to this, there could be a relationship here that is going through some conflict or that is ending. Just simply because, as I mentioned, you do have those two fives flanking yourself and this other person. Now, don't get too caught up in the meanings in the star signs either, because they can just relate to the character of the person more so than the star signs, which is, I'll go into a little bit of what each card means in terms of a person, so you can kind of identify whether they relate to someone that you know or not. But the Five of Wands, it starts out by saying that you are kind of unsatisfied. You have unsatisfied desires within you. It's almost like there's this will to break free of a situation because there's something that you need satisfied within you, and it's not actually an external thing, anything outside of you. It's coming from within. You're just not happy. But the Five of Wands, it's kind of struggle and labor, and it can sometimes even go so far as to say quite a violent kind of strife, if you want to put it that way. I mean, that's a bit dramatic, isn't it? I do feel like this is, for some of you, to do with a relationship. And this can even be work relationships. It doesn't necessarily mean your love relationships here, but there is this kind of struggle or internal struggle more than anything, I feel, with the Five of Wands. And the Five of Swords, this is kind of, it's a card of conquest, conquest and defeat in the one kind of card. And, the traditional meaning of the Five of Swords, this was that card that is winning at all costs. You see in a traditional deck, there would be a warrior standing there after the battle, and they've won all of the swords. But when they look around and they see the carnage of the war, of the battle that has just happened, it's like, what actually have they won? Was that fight, Was this destruction worth the battle? So you have to kind of really question that as well. But you know, this is like destruction of others. So I feel like either you are sort of in battle with others or they are in battle with you. Either way, it's kind of pretty, there's adversaries here, and there's a river. You know, this is somebody that's said something or promised something and then taken it away. So again, this can be you. You may have promised to be with someone, and now you decide you don't want that anymore, so you've taken that away, and vice versa. You could be in a situation where perhaps someone has made vows to you about something, and now they have taken that back. They've gone back on their word, and you know, and maybe left you feeling very, very sad. And as I said, vice versa, this could be you doing this to other people as well, you know. But again, this can be in any situation, not only love. But to go into the meaning of each particular card, that Page of Wands, these are often messages or messengers. So you could be getting some news. This is usually good news. And you've also got the Page of Cups. This is beautiful messages of love, of emotion. And you know, it is Valentine's Day, so some of you could be getting some beautiful Valentine's Day messages of love. That Knight of Cups is somebody that comes in and can even sweep you off your feet, and just really just be a loving, wonderful person. But the Page of Wands is someone that is quite, I was going to say childish. I mean, look, you are the Page of Wands, you are Sagittarius, so I'm not saying you're childish, but you're childlike. You have that childlike sense of wonder and adventure, and sometimes you can get bored in situations quite easily, so you are always on the lookout for that new adventure, that new exciting, that new excitement in your life, because you always feel like, as I was saying in the Five of Wands, like there's something missing, there's something within your soul that isn't satisfied or wants more or something like that. So you could be in this situation at the moment. And the Queen of Cups, what a beautiful soul this is. This is someone so loving, so caring, so nurturing. And, you know, queens in general, they are very loving, nurturing people. And you've got two queens here, which is quite interesting. But the Queen of Cups is probably the greatest carer and nurturer in the deck. And, you know, again, 2 fives, 2 queens, 2 pages, all very significant here, Sag. I just find that, quite interesting. You know, as I said, the queens, to have multiple queens, they're the nurturers. They're loving and supportive, and they don't only want to help you, but they're extremely capable of doing so. So if these are people in your life, you're really lucky to have these beautiful, nurturing people around you. And, you know, the pages are often new beginnings. So again, new beginnings in your work, your career, your passions, your desires, your inspiration, and new beginnings in love potentially here for some of you as well, which is really nice. Now, the Three of Cups, this is a beautiful emotional celebration. So, I mean, look, as I said, it is Valentine's Day, so some of you could be celebrating that. But this is, with all of these people around you here, you might be just having a birthday party, an engagement party, a wedding, some kind of event like that, or just a really lovely, loving get-together that is just really, really beautiful emotional kind of get together. It's nice. And this can sometimes talk about three people in a relationship as well. Look, take what resonates here and let the rest go. Don't feel like someone's cheating on you or anything like that, but it can sometimes talk about that. But you've got the Queen of Swords here. Now, as I said, this is an air sign. Normally I would read this as a Libra, but any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And again, this is a queen, but this particular queen is quite level-headed, quite balanced. They're very good at making a decision based on the facts. They weigh up all situations. They weigh up the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is, and then they make a decision based on that kind of stuff. Now, if these don't represent people in your life, you may be taking on the qualities of some of these people that are showing up here. So you might be the nurturing, loving, emotional, kind person here. You might be the balanced, level-headed kind of person here. But whenever the Queen shows up, this is real clarity. You're seeing what you want, you're making decisions. It's a very, again, swords. They're all about the mind, the intellect, the way you communicate. And sometimes the Queen of Swords can come in to give you some honest truths that perhaps you won't like to hear. They're very, I was going to say sharp-tongued, but that possibly isn't the right way to put it. They say it like it is. They don't pull any punches. They're very direct in their communication. So, you might be hearing some real hard truths that you don't like to hear. And, it could be something to do with this conflict that potentially is going on for some of you. Again, that Knight of Cups, I touched on that. That is beautiful emotion, lots of movement emotionally in your life, lots of changes coming in. And that Page of Cups, wow, Pisces, again, any water sign, but really lovely, emotional, sensitive, kind person. Now, let's get some clarifying cards out quickly. I hope I haven't been rambling on here. I do like to try and keep my messages within 20 minutes, but whatever comes out, comes out. Now, let's, this deck is, did I mention this was the Angel Tarot? Very, very old deck of mine, my very first deck. And this one is my favorite deck here, the Mystical Tarot, that I love to use. And we'll get some clarifiers out here if they want to come. I mean, that was a pretty, lots of messages came out in that first lot there. Okay, let's take these cards. Wow, okay. We've got the Queen of Cups again. There could definitely be a very significant Scorpio that is playing a part in your life, or, any water sign, like I said. I mean, look, you got the King of Wands, you got the Chariot, which is Cancer, and you got the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely some new beginnings. I feel like could be a new job here for some of you. You might be releasing an old job. And, this can even be, like I said, some of the challenges of the fives, they could be really pushing you to change, that your career just might not be suiting you at the moment. So there could be change here. And this could also be what that celebration is about. You might find that you get a new job and there is a lot of celebration around you. But yeah, that Queen of Cups, I mean, whenever that card comes out, and you've got three queens now, so there's a lot of people talking about you, and this doesn't necessarily mean in a bad way either. It doesn't mean gossiping about you. I mean, although it can be people gossiping, but it can be like if you've gone for a job interview, people are talking about your resume or talking about your suitability for the role, that kind of stuff. So there could be people talking about you there, but definitely the Queen of Cups is a really warm-hearted and fair person. You know, they're beloved by the people around them. They're really adored, and that therefore, because they're adored, they're really good at adoring you as well, or adoring those friends and family that they hold dear to them. And you know, they're poetic. They're a good friend. They're a good nurturer. If they're your mum, they're a good mum. If they're your wife, they're a devoted wife. They're a devoted partner. They're just practical and honest, and yeah, they actually are quite emotionally intelligent as well. They're able to express their feelings and communicate their feelings quite well, and they're very psychic as well. So if you've got one of these people in your life and you're trying to lie to them, they can often pick up on lies that you're telling them. So there's just a little bit of a warning there, Sag. But the King of Wands, wow, a powerful energy, powerful. This is Aries. I mean, this can be any fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sag like yourself. And I mean, it can even be representing you. But I would read this as an Aries all day long. And this is, again, this is one of the most powerful kings here in the deck. And this is somebody who is really great at making plans, writing lists, organizing what they need, and then implementing any ideas that they have, moving forward. And this card, when it comes up, it's like, what are you waiting for? Particularly if it is to do with changing your career. If you're feeling unsettled in a career, you're not feeling like you're happy where you are, this card comes up to say, well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you change? You don't have to be where you are anymore. You can do it. You can go for it. And you will be successful. You have that Chariot card. This is that card of you being in the driver's seat of your life and calling the shots. You determine how fast you want to go, how slow you want to go, if you want to turn left or right, or go down that street rather than that street, in a metaphorical sense. You know, you are driving your life forward, and this is absolutely a card of success. Now, for some of you, you may be moving, you could be traveling. You know, it is the Chariot, so it's a vehicle. It can talk about movement physically in your life. But if it's a metaphorical movement, this is changes and shifts, but that you are driving forward. You know, no one's telling you to do this. You're the one making all of the changes. Now, let's get final card from the Now I Understand Oracle deck. Wow, that came out so quickly. And this is progress. Whoops, I've just moved everything about there. Everything is on course. Go with the flow and trust the process. So I like that. And that's really, in a way, connected with those fives. So if there is challenging times ahead that you are going through, if there is conflict and there's changes that are making you feel quite uncomfortable, don't worry about it, because, you know, you've got to trust what's going on in your life. And again, I feel this very connected with that Chariot card that is moving forward. So we'll leave it there, Sag. I hope that resonated. Please leave comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and you can let me know if I'm way off track or not. And don't forget, take me up on my offer of a reading. All you need to do is click the donate button, put a comment in the comments section below what you'd like me to focus on or a question you have in mind, and I will video your reading just like these ones, and I will leave a link for you to access your video in the response to your comment. So have a great month. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day if you're in a relationship, or even if you're not, you might find someone. Check out my online store as well. And I hope to see you next month. Bye.